Welcome to the Cardboard Cave Podcast, the #1 show in Puerto Rico about trading card games. Thanks for Alter Sleeves for sponsoring our show. Use our affiliate link or code CardboardCave for 5% off your order and spice up your commander. Don't forget to follow us on our social media or listen to us in all major audio platforms. Thanks for being part of our community, and please like, share, and comment below. Plus enjoy the live show.
Hello and welcome. Once again, I would say our comeback. I would say because it's been long overdue that we have not been able to make the Cardboard Cave podcast. Let it be because here in Puerto Rico, if you guys have seen the news or if you guys are at least paying attention to our small little island, we have a lot of light issues when hurricane season comes in. It's a pain. Our everything does not work properly. Like I was talking to the guys a couple of seconds ago in the backstage. The internet sometimes is just bad. But hey, we just want to say that we are officially completely back. We are going to bring you guys the podcast as the usual format. But I will say to you all, just pay attention to our social media. We had a small chat a couple of minutes ago, and we're going to continue having that chat in the upcoming days to see if everybody on our team is okay with what we're going to be doing moving forward as Cardboard Cave podcast, and see what we can do to better the content for you guys. We do have a small little announcement. We have a special guest for a Commander Night. If you guys have seen him, he's been seen in Commander Show with MTG Nerd Girl. Is Veggie. We're gonna go ahead and play some Commander with him. I hope that everything goes well next week and we can play some Commander with Veggie and make content for all of you guys. So let's go ahead and present all of our guests. Well, not guests, all of our rest of the hosts of the show. I'm gonna go ahead and present the one and only our favorite director, Orengo.
Yo, what's up?
So, all good.
Yeah,
Then we're gonna go ahead and present as well our favorite goblin, the one and only Chris.
Hey, what's up, my dudes? How's everybody?
yeah.
Hey, what's up? What's up? And as well, just before we go ahead and talk about Lord of the Rings and the shenanigans that is happening with the cardboard community, with the cardboard community in Magic the Gathering, just want to say to all of you, go to altersteves.com/cardboard cave. Use our affiliated link or our code to get 5% off your whole order. Actually, if you go to the content creator portion, you will see a picture of our logo. So we're super excited to have this little sponsorship with Alter Steve. So pass by and check them out. So guys, let's go ahead. I do have here that they send me some links, and thank God that you guys sent me the links because I totally, totally forgot half of the things that we were going to talk about.
Well, at least just to kind of go over some of the stuff, right? I mean, we got that new Lord of the Rings set that came out. It is looking fantastic. There's a lot of things we can say about the set. I don't know if you guys would like to start talking about the set in itself or one of the spiciest cards that everyone from Saffron Olive to the Commander Committee has been talking about on the internet and on Twitter especially.
Okay, I'm going to say, let's talk about the set in a whole, and then we can go ahead and talk about the spiciness of what this set has brought to many formats, and as well that amazing the one ring that apparently has already been cashed in. Um, the set is fun. I'd say that I couldn't be able to join the pre-release. I was this close to join one, but when I checked the time for the event, I was still working. I was still on shift, so I couldn't be able to join. But I imagine that this set was going to be fun in the pre-release, the sealed format. I would imagine that seeing this set in the draft format would be fun as well. In regards to like the different mechanics and the things that this set brought in as a whole. Um, I do like the aspect that they did not only focus in like the cards and the mechanics, they focused as well in the artwork and what Lord of the Rings is. I know that there was a lot of controversies in some of the artworks of the cards due to skin tone or whatnot, but still, I think that the set in the whole brings a unique aspect to what Magic the Gathering is, and as well in the Commander format. That's the format that we usually play here. um, and when we talked about the other formats with this spicy card that was released. So what do you think about it, Chris? What do you think about the set?
What I really like about the set is that it both still very much feels like Magic, but it still feels like it's like you can really feel it's a universes beyond kind of deal. Like it feels different to what we normally see in Magic while still retaining the Magic feel. And I think that is definitely the feeling that I would like to have with the rest of the projects involved in the universes within like let's call it project for lack of a better word. um just being able to still retain both of those feelings, retain like being able to feel like, oh, like this is like this isn't Magic the Gathering lore, but you still have the Magic Gathering feel to the mechanics of the game of the cards. The One Ring, I still think it's like not the One Ring. I'm sorry, being tempted by the ring. I think it's still a mechanic that's really good. It doesn't feel game breaking so far. Like I think we still have some time to really see how it affects the game once the full set actually releases and more people have access to the cards and they start just figuring out just like how it interacts, because I think the fun aspect about Magic and when you introduce these new mechanics from the universes beyond sets is figuring out how they interact really with, especially in Commander, since you have all the stuff from all the different sets coming in. I'm excited to see what kind of effect the set is going to have in like Legacy and even Modern, because in Modern there's the possibility of like a new food combo coming up. Um, the set as a whole, I think, was just beautifully made. Like the art is a 10 out of 10 to me. The new mechanics just seem fantastic, and um, the even like the way the set was promoted, like the marketing, I feel like it's some of the better marketing Wizards has like done with their sets. I think that the IP really lends itself to easily market itself up to a certain degree. So I don't know. It was simultaneously a really safe IP and like a really safe set to work with. And at the same time, you can feel a lot of the love that went into it. I feel like it's just one of those sets that I can really look at and just feel like love from Wizards for once, you know. Um, Getting into like not so specific specifics, the Commander decks, they're beautiful. The food deck is considered, at least by the professor and a lot of the people that have already looked over the decks and like seen the deck list and so on, is considered the best one out of the box. You got Sauron coming, according to the professor, coming in second. I don't like the Sauron Commander, but I understand that, yeah, you want people to kind of buy your product, so you do want people to buy like the main set Sauron rather than just stick to the commander. But like I don't feel like any of the commanders in the set were really lackluster. Like, you know how sometimes in some other like sets or commander product, you're like, oh well, there's like this one commander that's like worth buying because of its contents and that's it, and the rest are kind of like I don't feel that here. Like I looked over the cards, I looked over the deck list, and while again out of the box the food commander, the Frodo and Samwise commander is the better buy, I don't feel like the others are like, oh, like these are just garbage you can kind of like not pay attention to. The professor also pointed out that it's just a generally well-made product that did really a lot of things really similarly to the 40K Commander product. The only critique that I have is, again, same thing that the professor was saying. The fact that we got 20 new cards rather than the 40 new cards that we got in the Warhammer product. Like, I'm a little on the fence about it because we did get some reprints that, again, felt good to have. They're reprints of cards that are commonly used and aren't necessarily you know how, like, a lot of times usually in Commander product you get reprints that you use but aren't really all that great. There's a lot of stuff that you can kind of just take out here. You know, you got in your in the Frodo Commander, you got like Birds of Paradise. You have the what's it called, like the one of the shamans that heal you when a creature ETBs. So, you know, and amongst a bunch of other really good reprints that the thing has, I'm just not going over all of them right now, but just good stuff. Just it's a pretty good set, and they pretty much nailed the Commander product. So for now, I don't really have complaints on my end. That's about it. What about you, Orengo? I think you're muted, my dude. Can't hear you.
It was a set that I didn't care for at all. I was not gonna buy any of this, and I'm still not gonna buy product, but I'm gonna buy a bunch of singles because there's a lot of great singles in this set. So a lot of good stuff for Commander. I like that it's not very overpowered. It's not like the situation we had with the Warhammer decks, where a lot of those cards were basically staples to very specific decks. I like that most of this set that it felt like Modern Horizons 3 or 2.5. It was very flavorful, except for the part about the ring tempting you. But beyond that, generally everything felt very flavorful to the to what the lore is. And, you know, it's a lot of iconic moments. There's a lot of powerful cards. It's not a lot of expensive stuff because a lot of people are going to open this because they want to find the one ring, which is great for us, the people who buy the singles, because everything's going to be dirt cheap, like very dirt cheap. I like the box toppers. The choice of the lands that they chose and a lot of the broken artifacts they chose to kind of reprint in very Lord of the Rings flavor is very on point. Like getting another ancient tomb reprint, the Great Henge, really Cabal Coffers, really great reprints to kind of drive the cost down. And again, since you're going to be opening so many of them, you're never going to get the Surge Foil at a good cost, but you're going to get the normal version, so you're going to be good. And speaking of the Commander decks, well, it's very true that we got less original design. I can kind of forgive WotC this time because we got a whole set. So we get 20 new cards for every Commander deck, but then we got like a full set where which you can just put even more flavor into that deck and make it very unique to that like universe. The reprints that they decided to put, like, you know, Heroic Intervention, Reanimate, incredible reprints that you never see in a Commander deck, like literally ever. I'm very surprised as they chose Toxic Deluge was another one. Yeah. So Toxic Deluge, there's such great reprints in these Commander decks. It's very shocking that they decided to print these. And I'm pretty sure, you know, I know the Commander decks are priced like at $60, like sort of like what happened with the Warhammer decks. But hopefully they do like a second, third, fourth wave, which we are speculating that's going to happen because of the fact that there's going to be like one single wave, or at least like one single run of the original collector boosters. And then if I'm not mistaken, there's going to be a second wave coming a bit later. That's not going to include the serialized cards. So they're going to have basically a bunch of this product coming for a very long time. So that's going to make everything drive down the cost. And we've already seen the Reanimates are very cheap, or less than $10. Some of them, Toxic Deluge, are hovering around $11 pre-sale price, which means it's going to just go way down. So I'm very happy with the selection of the box toppers, with the selection of the reprints for the Commander decks, and the actual cards are very good in Commander. It's, you know, they say it was for Modern, but it's clear that it's gears towards Commander. You want to make like a Frodo Baggins deck with his little buddy Sam, or you want to make like a Gandalf deck. There's a lot of stuff you can build here. So me personally, I'm gonna get a bunch of these cards. Starting with that One Ring, because that's such a sweet draw card. Like basically in any deck, just a 4 drop that protects you for the turn, and you start drawing on the spot. Like it's very ridiculous. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Even then, a lot of the cards in the set, like even now that we haven't had the full release, most of the cards are like cheap,
Yeah.
but like ridiculously cheap.
Mhm.
There are a few exceptions to that, which
Yeah,
I
like the
think
One
set
Ring,
plays
which I
pretty well.
guess makes sense. But even the One Ring, I'm pretty sure is going to go down to like 20, $15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just have to wait upon release and see how
Mhm.
much product is going to be. You know how many people are going to continue to just buy
Yup.
collector boosters just to find that freaking $2 million card.
Yeah.
You know, I
And once
even
that
told
happens, the thing is, once that happens, everything's gonna even dip down even further because then no one's gonna buy anymore. That's it.
exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna
I mean,
stop buying.
but when people stop buying the set, wouldn't that technically drive the prices up because you would have less
No,
availability?
because when you think about it, so many people are going to buy so much product. You know, people are going to buy the gift bundles. They're going to buy collector blister boosters at Walmart or at Target. They're going to buy, if they are money crazed people, they're not gonna buy one
They're gonna
collector
buy
booster
cases,
box.
yeah.
They're gonna buy cases.
And I think because it's Lord of the Rings, there's a lot of people that like Lord of the Rings,
Because
so they're just gonna
if you
buy it
guys
because of that.
remember when the two Dungeons and Dragons sets came in,
Right, yeah.
even though the second one wasn't good at all,
The
you
first
know,
one sell
but
very
the
well,
first
sold
one
very
did
well.
sell well, and as
Yeah.
well, some Dungeons and Dragons players only bought the cards to have the cards on a binder. So there's a collector aspect as well to it, you know. So I would say I told my wife, I remember I told my wife, like, hey, if we do see a collector booster blister from Lord of the Rings, we're gonna buy it. She's like, why? Hey, no, we don't know. We might have a $2 million ticket right there in that box. You know, because the thing is, the fact that Target, Walmart, what other big brand store I can mention, Best Buy, um I don't know any other place that sells TCG. Hey, what the heck? Probably Five Below, because they're selling Pokemon cards now. So probably Five Below one. Maybe they'll they'll start bringing cards, Magic the Gathering. But these big chains, they buy blister packs. So that means that they have a third party company that buys bulk Magic the Gathering. They repackage it with Magic the Gathering packaging and sell it for a very premium price on their big local stores. So we're talking about that, the One Ring with the little pretty foiling and the nice art and the elven language.
Yeah.
That card can be anywhere. That's the thing that people do not understand. That yes, it will be on this wave, but the chances to you get it is very, very low due to the fact of how much product they're going to be launching out. You know,
Yeah.
Probably
so let's
less
go ahead.
probability of you like there's probably less probability of you pulling the One Ring than winning the lottery, just like straight up.
Correct.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that.
Mhm.
So let's go ahead now that we're talking about the One Ring. I almost babbled my words there, but let's go ahead. Um, so apparently there was this little article, and as well, I did get to see the pictures as well. That apparently somebody in Brazil pulled the One Ring,
Yeah.
and now this is the thing. Let's go ahead and start with how this ante for the card started. Cassius March, famous football player, went ahead and in his store he asked first for $150,000. That was the starting ante for the One Ring. He's like, hey, I'm gonna give you guys.
Actually, didn't it start on Reddit? Someone mentioning that they were willing to pay out 100,000, and then the second option was 50,000. But then you use the rest of the 50,000 essentially to go on a trip to go like destroy the ring essentially.
Oh yeah, they wanted to
Oh,
go
That
throw it
was
to a volcano. Yeah,
that was the
that
original,
was the
like the
meme. That
OG
was the
like
meme.
Reddit
oh, that
meme
was the
that like
meme.
started it
Okay.
all. And
That
then
was the
from
meme.
there, people just started offering like these ridiculous prices. Then you had Cassius Marsh that went in
Cassius
with the one
March
hundred and fifty
went
dollars.
from 150 to
Mhm.
half a mil
Yep.
in a matter of a week.
Yep.
When he announced the half a mil, this store, I don't remember the name of the store, but this store went ahead and they say like, "Ha, Cassius, we got you.
Yep.
We're gonna go ahead and up the ante. We're gonna give a person $1 million
Hmm.
if they can give us the one ring."
Yeah.
Thing is that now apparently the one ring is going up to $2 million.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
in Mystery MTG. That's their official announcement. We're talking
Mhm.
about stores that obviously they are well established. They are stores that have been in the business for many years. They're bringing in bank because why? One of the things that is very interesting about this is that all of us here in the Cardboard Cave cast, we know that cards equals bank, especially when they're old or when they're like a one off. For
Mhm.
instance, sample number one. This does not cost a lot of money, but I want to like show it off just to bring an example.
Yeah.
This is a graded 6 Dark Trio Hollow first edition.
Hmm.
Because it's graded 6 is only $50.
Hmm.
But if it was graded 9 or 10, that's a different price tag. It's around almost to 400 to 450
Hmm.
dollars. There are cards that cost these prices just because they're either old or they're graded.
There's a lot of scarcity. Yeah.
Exactly,
Hmm.
especially if it's Charizard.
Hmm. Yeah.
But in this case, Magic the Gathering had their first initial card that we all know is the Power 9, but the most popular Power 9 card is the Black Lotus. If it's a graded 10, you have a gem because there's not that many grade 10s out there.
Yeah.
Not even Post Malone has a grade 10. He has a grade A artist proof Christopher Rush signed card.
Which is actually rarer when you think
Exactly.
about it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Um, in this case, now we have Wizard of the Coast with their major first big collab of their multiverse thing, Majingi
Yeah.
Bobber, and we bring
Oh, Warhammer
the
was
One
pretty
Ring.
big. Hey.
It is the biggest one because the
Yeah.
40K was only commander decks.
Yeah. This one,
Yeah.
the
This
first
is
one, they
the
go
this
all
is
out.
exactly this is the one
Yeah.
that they go out because not even Doctor Who is all out. It's
Yeah.
just 5 commander decks. Well, five commander
Yeah.
decks
Mhm.
and a collector booster box that brings alternate arts of the cards that are in the commander decks.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we can get that later on through our conversation. But guys, this is where it gets interesting. So $2 million ante. If you guys get the card, hey, call us and we'll trade. I don't know. We'll trade this the
We can
house.
trade. We can
I'll
trade a
trade my
house.
house. It's fine. Like you guys
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
have my house. It's
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But this is where it gets very interesting. So apparently the One Ring was opened in Brazil,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
they posted a picture in social media.
Mhm.
They were starting to analyze the card. Apparently, I think that they did a video about it and everything, and they have confirmed that the card is completely fake.
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing is that this is where it's funny. The funny story about this is that when the set was not even released, already fake cards were already being produced.
Yeah.
yeah. As soon as it got
Based
announced, almost.
that was because they showed the stupid card in a Twitter video. So
Exactly.
now people know what it looks like instead of the artist proof that they had on the website a few months back. So they didn't know the final design, but now since they showed it off, now people can just copy it.
Yeah, guys, you can go to Wish or Temu or
Yeah,
AliExpress
just get a fakey one.
or your favorite website and go ahead and buy it. And
Yep.
you have your $10
Your
card.
very own One Ring.
One ring.
Exactly.
Again,
Oh man.
Yeah.
again, this is going to happen in these further moving forward months.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know, guys. What do you guys think about this? Do you guys think that the ante is kind of bonkers? Do you guys think that this is actually worth it for anybody to just be like wasting thousands of dollars in this product to just search for a
It's not
card
even
that
thousands. It's like people
Mhm.
are probably willing to go through at least $1 million because
Yeah.
you're going to get $1 million out of it. Like it's insane. The thing is, at least from what I from first off, I want to just state how kind of ironic this whole thing is.
Mhm.
Like everyone coveting the One Ring,
Yeah.
and people willing to pay such a like absolutely ridiculous amount of money
Mhm.
to get the One Ring. Like I I don't want to get like super like political or moral here, but
Mhm.
there's so much you can do with $2 million, and we're talking about like a singular
Yep.
piece, like a single
Yep.
little
Yep.
square of cardboard. But like
Yep.
we all thought that it was insane that Post Malone was paying $800,000 for a Black Lotus, and now this has completely like
Yeah.
it's more than doubled the price of what we always thought was like, wow, the most expensive piece
Yes.
of cardboard
Mhm.
we've ever seen.
Mhm.
Lo and behold, the One
Yeah.
Ring has just gone way over that. And I find it super ironic that everyone is in this race to find the One Ring, and I feel like it almost feels like a little bit of lore has like leaked into the real world.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I am of the very personal opinion that whoever gets their hands on this card, the first thing they should do is just either just like destroy it or keep it hidden. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just it feels unreal to a certain extent that this is
Mhm.
even happening. Like this is some like weird Matrix stuff or something. Like I don't know,
It's a
but
lot of free publicity for
yeah,
Wizards because people
definitely.
going that nuts, people who are very casual are probably seeing this like on a Kotaku IGN, which I'm pretty sure IGN
Mhm.
did a story on this, and they'd be like,
Everyone has
"Oh,
covered
what
this.
the hell? They did Lord of the Rings said that's cool. I'm gonna buy some cardboard now." And then they
Yeah,
just go off and buy it, not because maybe they don't want to get the ring, or maybe they do, but then they'll be like, "Oh, okay, I can collect some cardboard of like Lord of the Rings, which is like a franchise I like." I always thought the same. I always thought like Post Malone getting an artist-proof Black Lotus signed by the actual artist would be
Mm-hmm.
like the best you can get because that's it. Like in terms of
yeah,
magic, that is like the top thing you can acquire. And thinking that the One Ring, just because there's a one of, when you can argue the black ring, the Black Lotus is rare because it's an artist proof, which we know back in the day those were very rare and hard to come by, signed by a person who's dead, which we thought that never happened because we didn't think he actually signed an artist proof, and to actually find one, that's incredibly more rare than just trying to find one piece of cardboard. I
yeah.
feel, I don't know, like, because the things that you have to get in order for this card to actually exist in
Yeah.
2023, it's insane.
To be honest, for it to exist at all, like because of what it is, like
Mhm.
it's just the more it just like like runs in my head, the more impossible it seems. It's like this
Exactly.
whole like set of circumstances that had to
Yeah.
come together for
Yep.
this Black Lotus to just be birthed onto existence.
Yep.
And then I just find it funny that this thing that Wizards
They just
essentially just
printed the other
pulled,
day.
yeah, they just like pulled it out of the printer, and it's like, hey, like this is
Hey,
better than the Black Lotus.
yeah.
Like what? What's even funnier? Like one of the things that I feel like increases the value of the card to a certain
Mm,
degree is that it's playable, it's legal,
yeah.
unlike the Black Lotus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. It really actually, to me, it just makes a really funny, like, I guess, testament to what we assign value to.
Yeah. Definitely.
One of the things that I would do, like if I were the one to pull the One Ring, I would not even sell it
Mm,
off the bat. I think I would just sit down and just call like PSA or any of these like grading companies. I'll be like, okay, I have
I
this
feel, I
card
feel
in
like it's
my
too big.
hand.
It would get leaked. I feel like it's too big. I
yeah.
think it's something that's so big and so insane that it would just somehow get leaked.
Mhm.
Yeah, but just think about it. Like instead of just selling it out there, just imagine instead of you having the bear card, you have a grade 10 or grade 9, the
Yep.
One Ring, and you can sell it for more.
Yeah.
Yep.
Instead of 2 million, you can get more.
I
That's
feel like
that's
it
what I'm
also.
thinking right now. Me as a collector,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
just thinking about it, like, hey, how about if I just sit down, let's say I open a random collector booster, if the One Ring is there, and out of the blue, I go ahead and be like, hey, why am not sell it now? Let's just go ahead and grade it. Obviously, PSA or Beckett or whoever grades it, go ahead and they like leak it. Like, hey, we're grading the One Ring.
Mhm.
For they can't, they're not supposed to leak the information of like the owner,
Yeah.
but uh, they can go ahead and announce like, hey, we just have a grade 9 or grade 10 the One Ring, and we're sending it to the owner.
Mhm.
Um, so we have a higher price tag. So, because that's what's gonna happen in the end of the day to the card.
Yeah.
Whoever buys it, let it be Cassius Mark, let it be the $2 million anti store, or whoever, they're just gonna get the card and grade it. That's what they're gonna do. You
Yeah.
know, not even the grade 10 Pikachu thing that Logan Paul has is worth that much anymore.
Nope.
Right now Wizard of the Coast broke the collector market.
Yep.
you know
Like, what to me is hilarious though? Like the thought that one of two things happening with that ring. Again, the optimal scenario would be just the part where like somebody gets it and decides to destroy it.
Mhm.
It's if they do it publicly, they would have like all the freaking clout in the world. That would be like the optimal scenario. But there's two things that there's this tiny little dark part of my heart that would hope happen. One of them is like just some random kid like opens it up, like they gave him like, I don't know, like a kid just started playing Magic, or like their mom got them like the wrong cards. He was like, I want Pokemon cards, and they got him Magic cards or something.
Yeah.
He just like opens it up and is like, I don't want this.
Gross. I don't want it. Yep. And we never find it ever.
and we
Yep.
never find it.
Yep.
Oh
Either
god.
that, or like, what are the chances of someone like legitimately just, as I would like to call it, smeagling the card,
Mhm.
just being like, oh,
Precious.
my precious, like I like no one has to know I have this. Like this is mine. This is my satisfaction. Like maybe like my closest friends might know at best, and you know what? Don't tell them either. I'll just keep it to myself.
and then in a
Why should I?
random grand well, they're not Grand Prix anymore, but in the random Magic the Gathering big tournament, I play the One Ring. What?
The what? Oh man, that would be the funniest thing ever.
That'd be so good.
Just like out of nowhere, there's like no announcement of like anything because nobody knows this person opened the card, and there's just like, yeah, I'm gonna play the One Ring, and there was just kind of just like everyone just like, it would be even better if it just kind of went under the radar, and they're just like putting the game and like, oh yeah, it's like, oh okay, you play the One Ring, okay, I'm gonna destroy that, goes to the graveyard, something else happens, they put another card on top of it, and then just like hours later, people just kind of go like, yo, did you guys see the thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I really, the funny thing is that, look, one of my favorite flowers is the Black Lotus. I love the Black Lotus. It's one of my future tattoo ideas. Um, and let it be that I love Magic the Gathering. I've always, when I knew and learned that the Black Lotus, that's the art that I have behind me, is the most expensive card in Magic the Gathering, I was like, holy shit! I can combine both things that I love in one tattoo. I was like, holy cow. But the funny part of like going from that announcement in that interview of Howard Stern with Post Malone, hey, I went ahead and invested. Because it was funny in that interview, Howard Stern mentions a waste of money, and
Mhm.
then goes ahead posting, he's like, well, no, it's an investment,
Yeah.
because at any time I can sell the card.
Mhm.
But at least I have a piece of history in my hands.
Yep.
Because, like Orengo mentioned, we're talking about the most expensive card in Magic. Well, not anymore, but the most expensive card in Magic. It's an artist proof and it's signed by Christopher Rush. So it's
Mhm.
rare finds to
That's
get.
like getting an Amazing Fantasy number 15 signed by Stan Lee. Like
Yeah, exactly.
that's insane.
That's
In like mint condition or something.
in mint condition, exactly.
Yeah.
And, oh wait, and not even graded. It's just this random guy that had a
Yeah.
box of comic books. He's like, oh yeah, he one day came to my comic book store
Yeah.
or to my local comic book
It
store.
was
He
starting
signed
out.
it,
Yeah.
and I just put it there.
I just put it. I forgot about it. Yeah.
I have so many stories because in regards to keeping the topic in collecting world, I remember one day I sat down with my uncle and I started like skimming down or scrolling down old comic books, the most expensive ones, Amazing Fantasy, the one that the issue number one for Superman, the one that he's carrying the car, first appearance of the X-Men. And when I just started scrolling down, my uncle goes and he's like, I had that, I had that, oh, I had that too. And I look at him like, where are they? Oh, I used to trade them with my friends, and
Good.
yeah, I just gave my collection away. I'm like,
Yeah. Because that's what makes them valuable, because people didn't know the value that they had. That's what makes them
exactly.
valuable. Yeah.
One of the things that got me a little bit frustrated. Back I think that everybody knows this because Orengo and me have expressed it a lot. So I before I started playing Magic the Gathering, I used to play Pokemon and I used to play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Mhm.
So back in the day, having the Egyptian god cards were really
Yep.
hard to get. Now the
Yep.
Egyptian god cards, so this is the funny part.
A dime a freaking dozen.
Yeah, they're dime a dozen. There's
Like
so many
you can get
prints.
them in speed duels and they're
Yeah.
shiny and they're beautiful and you
Yeah.
can get them anywhere. And it's really sad that we got into the point that cards that we would value a lot are reprinted so much that I think that having that rule of what
Mhm.
Wizard of the Coast did, like, hey, these cards cannot be reprinted. Yes, it's a pain in the ass because who the heck is gonna go ahead and invest $1,000 or $2,000 on a couple of, I'm not gonna say a couple, but on each Power Nine or on the dual lands or whatever. Uh, but when you think about it, you're like, holy shit, yes, it is worth it because at the end of the day, I have this binder full of like expensive cards. I'm in a pretty tight pickle. You can sell them,
Yeah.
and then in the future you can get them again.
Yeah.
That's the good part about collecting. Um, I don't know, guys. My question to you both will be: are you guys at least going to buy one collector booster just to just try
Just
the
for the
lottery?
memes. Nah, it's fine. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they've been holding off that freaking card in WotC headquarters, so they can just keep getting a lot of sales, and then you're just gonna slide it in like a month from now or something, and then just
I
throw it
honestly
away.
would think that the best marketing move would be to, like, without anybody knowing, just slip it into the second wave. But then again, that would go against what they
That will
agreed
go.
upon, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
that would
Yeah,
be. Yeah, that would
They
be
could just
crazy.
release it in literally the last box of the second wave. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, of the first wave.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
yeah. But the issue of doing that is the fact that probably that final box of the second wave will be a box that it's open and added to a blister pack
Mm.
portion.
either way, who's gonna know?
Yep.
That's true,
No one's gonna know.
but nobody's gonna know. Yeah,
Be funny.
yeah.
Someone random on a Best Buy just buys one of those blisters as a birthday gift or something.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
They're like,
say
I don't understand what the card says.
bye.
Bye.
Because
This is
the
probably
thing
it's
is,
probably one of those like trash rares or something. Bro. Just gonna
Exactly.
like put in the trash rare pile.
Whatever.
but one of the things that is very exciting that I think that we can mention is that the movement of trading card games has become, and I have to sadly say this, and if whoever listens to us or watches later bashes me, just bash me. Don't bash the guys. But playing TCG has become what being a geek is now.
Mhm.
Hmm.
If you guys, I don't know if you get my drift.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, yeah, like it's no longer like this like obscure thing. It's pretty trendy actually
Yeah.
nowadays,
Yeah,
especially when it all like blew up with like Logan Paul trying to get like the Pokemon cards and so
Mhm.
on.
no, yeah, like I'm not. It's something that it does not worry me because at the end of the day, you choose what TCG you want to play. You can access almost all the TCGs on your phone with a mobile app or whatnot. But it became that TCG is now for literally everyone, and I think that later on one of our main conversations is going to be the fact that there is one TCG
Mhm.
that it has not yet released, is pretty pricey, but upcoming with the reviews that I have seen and the talk in social media, I think Wizard of the Coast has a contender on
Mhm.
a good TCG, but we'll leave that in a question which one it is. But let's go ahead and jump into the next portion of our great, amazing Lord of the Rings set. So, guys, so we know we like Commander. There's as well. There's other formats. I think I don't know. They do exist. You know, we have Pioneer. We have
They're almost
Modern.
played sometimes.
Mm.
We have going again. As I said, Modern, Pioneer. We have Standard. We have Legacy. We have Vintage. We have Oathbreaker. We have Tiny Leaders. We have Popper. We have so many formats. Um, Obviously, the best one is Commander. Yeah, but going back to the topic, uh, there's this one card that just broke the internet with the
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings set. And it's pretty interesting because when this card was presented in pre-sales, people actually got this card for a very low price. In regards to into the $5, $4, or maybe cheaper range, because obviously we all know that when pre-sales start, pre-sales they just go. These stores just have like a idea of what the card can be priced out, and then throughout the awaiting of the next week, that this will be the week when the set releases, I mean in this Friday, um in this case, prices can fluctuate. But there's
Mhm.
this one famous, amazing card that people just went bonkers because people are already doing combos. They are already breaking metas with Commander and as well with other formats. Is the famous abruptly Orcish Bullmaster
Yeah.
that does the following: is a one black and one Orcish Bullmaster creature or archer, has flash when he enters the battlefield, and whenever an opponent draws a card except the first one they draw in each of their draw steps, Orcish Bowmaster deals 1 damage to any target, then amass Orc 1. And it's a 1
Mhm.
1. This measly card that only cost at the beginning at pre sale, it was fluctuating. I think that we can see the price
Yeah, you can
here.
see it. There you go.
Mhm.
So
$15.
it was around $15 for this foil market.
Oh,
Market
sorry.
price it was
12.
12. So let me see if we can go a little bit. There we go. Boop. It was the cheapest you can find. It was $10.
Mhm.
I know that there. I have we have some close friends that I think that they got it a little bit much more cheaper.
Mm.
But a card that went from $10 to 30.
Mhm.
The
See?
30 and the set hasn't even released yet.
And the set
Yeah.
has not even released yet. As well, people are combining the card. I think the card won't is from Lord of the Rings as well. It's a bat. I don't remember the name, but it's
Mhm.
a 4-drop bat that says that I think it's
Whenever you sacrifice a token,
whenever
you
you
Whenever
deal
you,
sacrifice.
damage.
you create and sacrifice, I think it was.
I think so. Yeah, I know it's a bat. It's a bat.
Mhm.
I know it's a bat.
Yeah.
But this card has broken the internet in so much. People are making so much content about it in regards to combos. Not only combos, how it can affect the meta, how it can be banned in the next upcoming weeks, or probably, well, in this case, banned like what was this card again?
Like loot tree.
Yeah,
They were talking about pre-banning it.
Pre-banning it for
exactly. So
casual. Yeah.
you know, but the thing is that, hey, it is what it is. You know, it's a powerful card. I don't know what the heck Wizard of the Coast was thinking about, but hey, here we go. So Orcish Bowmaster, guys, what do you guys think? Your thoughts? Do you guys think that this will make a change in any of the recent meta or in Commander?
It's a very good commander card, and I can understand maybe where they're coming from, but I think it's overblown because this is not comparable to a whole breacher. Like a whole breacher, what was it called? Whole
Hull
breach?
Breacher.
Yeah,
I
whole
Yeah.
think it
breacher.
was. Let me go
That
start.
card didn't allow like you punish your opponent heavily for them drawing, you know?
Yeah. The difference. Yeah. Go ahead. All right.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. And when you compare it to stuff like Loot Tree, the thing with Loot Tree is that it will be just an auto include. It will be more of a staple than even a Soul Ring for decks that run blue and red. This one is just a very strong black card, more in line to like what was the agent one, the oppression agent or
Opposition agent.
opposition agent, exactly. Kind of like an opposition agent. which is a very strong black card, but it's not like comparable to like a Hold Breaker or Hold Breacher or whatever. Hold Breacher was way too oppressive, and if you had like a Narset, you had like a
It was
Windfall
oppressive,
effect.
and it was kind of an auto include in any deck that
Yeah,
just
in it.
runs blue. Because the big difference between the Bowmasters and Hull Breacher is that Hull Breacher outright denied draw.
Exactly.
It essentially just kept your opponents from being able to search for answers.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, in the case of the
Dork.
Bowmasters,
Monsters.
like you still get to draw your card.
You try to get a, and it's just a
that you might
creature.
be
Yeah,
punished for it.
yeah, exactly. But you can
Like-
find an answer.
Exactly, and even then, like for example, one of the things that we brought up
There's
when we
the
were
card.
having the conversation was how it would
Whenever you
affect, for
create or
example,
sacrifice a token,
Yeah,
each
exactly.
it's
opponent
both.
loses his life.
It's very good because it's create and sack. So you can just make a bunch of treasures and then sack them and then ping. So
Yeah.
it's very strong because of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, like, it's really different being denied the draw from, and then, for example, essentially for Elsha was one of the ones that like one of the examples I had brought up where I thought like it could possibly stop the deck, but then I'm like, Elsha's prowess like keeps keeps going 1-for-1 with the orc, so you can't kill Elsha.
Yeah.
You could try to kill the player, but essentially what you would be doing is that if they, for example, do the either the breach loop or the what's it called, like the thing with Sensei's Divining Top,
Mm-hmm.
you're still essentially just making it an ad nauseum effect,
Exactly.
and it's
Mhm.
still potentially something that it's something that either the Elsha can relatively with some work can get out of, or can just keep the Elsha from winning, but it's still not like it won't kill a table. It
Yeah.
won't give you the resources to kill a table. The
Mhm.
only way in which Orcish Bowmasters really like takes off and really does anything in a table is when your opponent like goes off. It's more dependent on what your opponent does than really you being able to kind of combo off with it. For
Yeah, like
example,
if someone does
just works on its own.
exactly. Exactly.
No, yeah, that's one of the things that's why one of the reasons that I'm like, yeah, the card is good, but you know, it depends on the format that you have the card in, because if you go ahead and you put it in Commander is an outstanding card. One, it has flash, it has an ETB, and when that ETB hits, whoever goes off in drawing, then there you go, you got your big effect, right? But in the cases that a lot of the decks that draw a lot of cards, they will have a lot of responses.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
oh, I go ahead and flash in or Bowmaster, and you're like, okay, so before when in cast or in the flash, you know, while in cast, I'm gonna go ahead and just continue drawing my deck. I found
Mhm.
a response and I'll counter it.
Yep.
Okay,
Or,
yeah,
or even then you just win, because if you draw in response to the Bowmasters, you just win.
Yep.
no, yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you might take some damage, but it's already done.
Correct, exactly. But that's where I want to take the end game, is that there you will have a response no matter what. So you know, if you're a deck that draws, let it be Shurikai or Elsha or Nekusar or whoever, you know, you are going to draw and you are going to win.
In Nekazar, the things change a little bit though. But
Just
even then,
mentioning it because of the draw. That's why I mentioned it.
yeah, even in Nekazar, and then there's the other I forget the name of the card right now, but it's an Esper commander. She comes down for 4 mana, and you you deal damage every time you draw a card. In decks in which you can wheel very often, Nekazar wants wheels. The other card I mentioned wants wheels. It can have a almost devastating effect, because then like you have a huge orc, like a 20 something orc. All your opponents drew cards, so you get to deal 20 something damage to somebody's face, or like to various targets across the board, and that's insane. But again, it only pops off with really specific like synergies and things. For example, another great example is so if your opponent plays a Rhystic Study. Your opponent plays a Rhystic Study, and there's one of two options. You get to punish him because people aren't paying their taxes, because it happens more often than it should.
Mhm.
Like, please, like the question should never be will you pay the one. It should be more can you pay the one? Because if you can, pay it.
Mhm.
How
Like,
about no?
Exactly.
I mean, I play blue. I would love for people not to pay for the Ristic, but realistically, you know how many times I've seen people get handed or have handed me a win because they don't pay their taxes. I feel like Orcish Bowmasters is kind of a response to that, since card draw has become or is just constantly like being added more into the game. Like, people are just asking for more card draw in white. We did get more card draw in white actually with the
Hmm.
Lord of the Rings set, of course, with all of its white limitations, but we
Mhm.
still got some pretty decent card draw. And I feel like Orcish Bowmasters is a really good response to that shift in this kind of meta in which everything is really card draw focused.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm. It
the
is.
same, and I think that Orengo's comparison to Opposition Agent is really spot on. Like, it's a card that you will most likely want to run and you will most likely have in your CEDH builds, but I
Mhm.
don't think it's crucial to run the card in every deck. The
Yeah.
more casual your table gets, the less useful Orcish Bowmasters becomes.
True. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, but we can actually make that example with our big play group in our LGS store. You
Mhm.
know, because our play group in the LGS store, you have two different groups. You have a group that only plays CDH or plays high power decks, and then when we get bored, we're like, you know what, I want to play like Tazri, just roll in the dungeon and just make shenanigans playing D&D while you
Mhm.
guys do your thing. Um, uh, and then you have your casual group that, yeah, their decks are powerful, but they do not combo off. They do take a while to, to get to that big dragon or to get to that big end game on their deck.
Yeah,
So
there's still people playing Battle Cruiser out here essentially. So,
mhm.
Yeah.
and
Or
Battle Cruiser like Orcish Bowmasters just isn't doing
no, yeah,
much.
Mhm.
or the fact that Wizard of the Coast brought Plane Chase once again. A lot of people are
Yeah.
building decks over. Hey, this card doesn't affect when the card does when they go plane chasing or whatnot. You know, it is fun that Plane Chase got a little love once again. I do want those cards to add in the Plane Chase deck. Um, but it is what it is what it is. It's a card that, depending on the format, you know it will do its thing, or it won't. you know I don't
Mhm.
know if in modern there's decks that draw, but still in modern this card is pretty strong because it deals damage and as well creates a big thing, so it creates a big orc. And in modern, depending, I think that there are like a few decks that are draw focused, so it does a lot. What's it, the Drake deck? Isn't there like a deck that you draw a lot of cards to have a lot of things in the bin?
I've been out of tune with Modern recently, so I
Yeah.
can't tell you
There,
much
I
on
Same.
know that there is a deck that is with it's with a freaking Drake. Let's go ahead and look for the meta decks.
Thank you,
um
MTG Goldfish.
Thank you, MTG Goldfish. Not sponsored
Not
by, but
sponsored.
thank
Nope.
you. But sponsor us, yes.
on another
Murktide
note,
region,
Yeah.
Murktide
yeah,
region. That deck,
Murktide.
that
Yeah.
deck, the Murktide region uses a lot of draw.
Mhm.
It's a card that it's a deck that Oh, look, mono green Tron up. Well, it's still on the top 10. Wow, it's in the top 10. Cool, cool. Um,
Nice.
so yeah, like Murktide region, that deck uses a lot of draws, or so it is the card does something in certain situations, but again, here's where the big word goes: is certain situations. Not, I wouldn't say that it's that broken, and it's a good
it's
card,
not
but
good for
it's
everything.
not like
It's just really
Mhm.
not.
exactly. What card was it that had this happened, the exact same thing, that people were like going crazy in one of the past sets? They were like, "Oh, this card is amazing," and then it came out to be that it was
I feel like we get
very.
one of those every set, to be honest, but we can be a
Yeah.
little bit more specific.
Oh yeah, I don't
Mm.
remember. I remember that everybody was so hyped about it, and it was just a very situated card. It depends on the situation. You
Mhm.
know, um, But I would say, even though it's good that there are cards that are that taint that meta. It's good because the meta changes. The meta goes ahead and shifts this to a new like play style or to I don't know, a new play idea. Because how long we can say that in modern mono green Tron, if it wasn't mono green Tron or mono red or Boros red or what was the other card? Death Shadow. If it weren't that deck, if you weren't playing one of those decks, you were not in the cool group of modern. But
Mhm.
now that things have shifted, there's a 5 color deck in modern that is the top tier. Um, you know, and there's now a lot of different variations. Either way, we gotta say, instead of Burn is still there, Rakdos mid range is there. You know, there's a mono white deck that's called Hammer Time.
Yeah.
Yes, yo,
You know,
don't just like name it off like that. Hammer time is amazing, my dude.
Hammer Time.
Hammer
Let's
time is
see.
ridiculous, my
It's
guy. We're talking about
disgusting.
the paladin that equips for 0, and the big
Yeah.
hammer. That's like the whole play, bro.
Yeah,
Disgusting.
Pure Steel Paladin. I remember that
You're
card. I
pure
used to
steel
play that card a
paladin.
lot.
You look like a what? You look for you got like your, I think it's like a 1 mana or 2 mana tutor. The Sigarda equipment tutor.
Hmm.
You
Yeah, you
drop that
have
thing and it's insane.
it's called Steel Shaper Gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The deck is fun,
Oh yeah.
but I just gotta say, it is good that this set did something. You know, it is good that this set brought cards that people like, brought cards that people are going to play. It's a playable set on its own. Um, One of the things that I am going to reiterate in past conversations with friends and with you guys is the fact that not all of the multiverse beyond sets
Hmm.
are um are full sets. They're just like little, I would say, little expansions. Like, hey, let's go ahead and expand your Magic the Gathering collection, and that's it.
Hmm.
That happened with Warhammer. I think that Warhammer would have been a very great good set, in
Yeah.
if it was a whole set. One of the things that I'm very excited for is Doctor Who. Why? Because Doctor Who is going to bring more than 50 new cards per commander deck.
That's really
So
good. Yeah.
so that's really good. So we're going to have 5 commander decks that are full 100% new,
Hmm.
with very little reprints. I don't like the fact that if you want like the shiny, pretty cards, that you have to buy the collector booster box.
It worked last time with the
I
with
know,
the
I
Warhammer decks. Yep.
I know it did,
Hmm.
but there's the thing. There's a funny thing, Orengo. You cannot pre-order foil commanders.
Interesting.
Yes, you can only get them non-foil due to the fact that all of the foils will be in the collector booster box.
Okay. I see. I see.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to Chris. I think he just went to the void.
Yeah. He went to the void.
He went to the void.
Yeah.
When we see him come back,
I'm
oh,
still
he's
around, just
There you
having
go.
some
oh, okay.
just having a little bit of issues with my camera, but we're
Oh,
still,
okay.
we're still here.
Oh, okay, okay,
That's fine. That's fine.
okay. So at the end of the day, I would say, this set is cool. I hope that I can get to play it in arena. Let it be sealed or draft. It would be
Hmm.
cool just to try it out. Um, if they invite me, if one of our crazy friends goes ahead and say, "Hey, let's buy a set booster box just to draft it," I would be part of the problem.
Hmm.
Um, because it would be kind of cool to either draft it or play it sealed.
Yeah.
Um, but I would say, the set is cool. I
Yeah.
just gotta say, it's really interesting. You
Hmm.
know. So, what do you guys have as final thoughts for the Lord of the Rings? I think it's Battles for Middle Earth
Hmm.
set. What do you guys think about it?
There's a bunch of really good singles, bunch really good stuff. I would advise people who play casual like us to just go to edhrec.com, go put your favorite commander, put the new cards that are being like connected to that commander you own, and then just evaluate if you need them, and that's it. Wait till Friday or Saturday of release day. That's when they're gonna be the cheapest, or wait like a month and then it'll really be like cheap, dirt cheap. But like the expensive cards will probably just go up. So
Yeah.
any mythics that are worth a damn, they're really gonna go up. But everything else is there's so many variations, especially with the One Ring. I saw the One Ring is like $30, I think. I don't know if it's still 30
Yeah,
bucks.
it's 30
That's
bucks. Foil is like 300.
it's gonna like go dramatically down because it's still like it's sure it's very sought after because it's the One Ring. It's actually a good effect, but I really think it's gonna hover around 20, 15 to 20. Like honestly, it's because it's so niche. It's only gonna be good in Commander. It's not gonna have any value in Modern, which is the primary set where you're gonna need four of. You're just gonna get the one or two for your Commander decks, and that's it. I don't think it's like an auto included everything, although being colorless is very useful. So it's going to be included in a lot of decks. But yeah, I would just say evaluate all the new cards. It's a bunch of cards, so you got to be like really careful. Try to get some of those box toppers. If you still don't have an Ancient Tomb, wait till it's like 50 or maybe 45 and just snap it right up. Or because of these ones going down, try to get the older ones. You don't like the new artwork, which I argue the new artwork looks very beautiful. Or, just get like a great hench. I'm going to see if I can snag a great hench now because now they're going to be very cheap or well cheap as previously as they were. Yeah, I would say it's a pretty good set. I'm very surprised they actually took care a lot of the lore, the artwork, the mechanics. The only thing that sucked was the mechanic of the ring tempting you. It was very lackluster, but it's a very powerful effect. I'm just saying, if you're gonna go with flavor, it wasn't flavorful. It wasn't as flavor as you could go. But there's a really good bunch of cards for this set that you should be getting. So yeah.
Yeah, so Chris, I don't know if you're still there, but what are your final thoughts?
I'm here. I mean, I pretty much expressed all of my thoughts on the set earlier. I would say, I'm just on the same boat as Orengo. Wait for singles. I'm also on the wait for singles argument mostly because, we've talked about our mixed feelings about Wizards of the Coast before. But also, we always say buy singles because at the end of the day, buying boxes is more for fun. If you're really looking to get the most out of your Magic experience, singles is definitely the way to go because you just go kind of directly to the point, right? It's just generally a good time to get into Magic the Gathering. If there is a time to buy, especially with this set coming in, I think it's excellent. A lot of these prices, like I mentioned, are like, like the bar is in hell for these prices. You know what I mean? And like with the set release, we're going to see even lower prices. The set in general is just absolutely beautiful, either as a collector's, as a collector's item, or as stuff that's just going to function and be fun to play with. I feel that the One Ring mechanic also, like same thing what Engel said, it is lacking in a little bit of flavor. I guess it's lacking a downside to having the ring, but at the same time, I feel like having a downside would have, to a certain degree, have a similar effect with the that the enter the dungeon mechanic had with the it would have just made it lackluster if there was like too many negatives to using the effect in the first place. So I'm not mad at it. I think it's a pretty decent thing, and I feel like they balanced it out pretty well. It's not something that is going to break any metas, but it's not something to be underestimated either. I really realized how well designed some of the cards around it were when I saw the red blue one. I forget his name. I think it was Bilbo, from either from the Sauron Commander deck or from the set. Can't remember right now. When he comes into the battlefield, you get the like Tempted by the Ring trigger, and every time he deals combat damage, he is like you make a treasure, and the first effect that the ring gives you is making your creature unblockable to creatures with greater power than it. And the card is a 1/3. So if there's more stuff that's designed around that, I think it's going to be really good. For another good example of this is the white-black Frodo. I'm actually planning on building around it myself because he gives, like we were talking about, like these effects it gives you. He starts as a 1/2 and then he upgrades all the way up to a 3/3, which is still relatively low in terms of power. you're going to be getting in a lot of damage, and you're getting tempted by the ring. If you get tempted by the ring 4 times in a game, or essentially have the ring at its full power, you just get to kick someone off of the table. Like, I don't know. I'm really excited. I think that all, like, everything looks really well balanced out. I'm just like the set. I don't even want to keep talking about it anymore, because I just keep going in circles of how, like, good and how much I love it.
No, I gotta say the set is really fun. I hope that whoever gets to buy a lot of product enjoys it, and all of you that got to play the pre-release enjoyed the pre-release as well and got great cards out of it. Especially if you did get the One Ring foil that's going for $300. So yeah, so if you did, if just I'm gonna be honest. If you get the important foil cards, sell it. Don't wait. Just sell it. Unless you get serialized the One Ring or an Elvish one,
Hold on to those.
hold on to those. They are
Mhm.
going to be up in price.
And the
In
search foils too. Hold
the
on to
search
those.
foils, yes.
Mhm.
Uh, you know, this is a set that I'm just gonna say it off the bat. Um, Universe Beyond is going to be this little expansion set from Wizard of the Coast that the cards are going to cost money.
Mhm.
That's all I gotta say.
Yep.
I'm actually right now considering at least buying one collector booster box from Doctor Who just to see if I get something good out of it, but
Mhm.
probably I won't. Um, buy singles. John, keep
Yep.
keeping buy singles. Okay.
Not the singles.
Um, but I'm gonna just give the advice that we always do. Just buy singles. If you guys don't want to buy the whole set, just like what Orengo said, just sit down, do your research, check what commander you want to build or what commanders you want to build of this set, and just see what cards synergize with the commander of this set, and go ahead and buy singles before they get expensive. Obviously the box stoppers as well, like Orengo said, just a wait, and if you can get some of these cards in a good price, go ahead
Mhm.
and snatch them before they get back on those high prices once again,
Mhm.
because when they get back there, they won't be reprinted in a while. So
Mhm. Yep.
just uh just buy them, I would say. So one of the things that I think that we have not done that much here in the Cardboard Cave podcast is bringing back the instead of bringing you guys always the news or what's going on in Wizards of the Coast, we used to and sometimes we do it, is bring you topics like normal one end topics. So if you guys remembered, I did mention throughout the podcast that there is one TCG that is being very promising in the social medias as well. They have the company that is making this game actually has mentioned that this could be the Magic the Gathering killer or the competition for
Yeah.
it. Right now, I have seen in social media that this game is really fun because they have been sending out playtest decks to content creators and to reviewers as well. But I think it's very interesting that with the little information that we have and the little cards that we have of this card, it's really great that one day in the next episode of Cardboard Cave, we talk about the magical world of Lorcana,
Yep.
because this is the game that I will say that if Wizard of the Coast does not get their chops up, this game will be the one that is gonna chop them real nice. We're
Mhm.
talking about cards that have not yet released or that have been available in different events, going for 1K to 4K easily.
Mhm.
And there is still not a price tag on the D23 um, promo set. It was only available at the convention that Disney had a couple of months ago. So I think that one day we're going to be talking about how this card game can actually be the Magic the Gathering killer, or can actually be just a card game that will just be the competition of it, especially that has our the famous mouse that everybody loves. So let's go ahead and go through the round table and say our goodbyes. Orengo, where can the people find you?
Hey, you can find talking about sweet cardboard with all of you. You can also find me in Cinema Podcast, cinemapodcast.com. You can find me in Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that. The last thing I talked about was The Flash.
Okay, Chris, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me here in the Cardboard Cave podcast. You can also occasionally find me in my Twitch. I haven't been around there in a little while, but I'll hopefully be coming back soon just to start making some fun stuff, especially with all this new stuff around Magic the Gathering coming around. Lots of new people coming in because of the Lord of the Rings set. So we'll see what happens. And John, more importantly, where can the people find you, my dude?
Well, you can find me here in the Cardboard Cave podcast every Wednesday at 9 p.m. So, guys, just to give you a little bit of insight, next week on Wednesday, we are going to be recording content with Veggie, but still, we will sit down us and see if we're going to do a not a double feature, but if we're going to record the podcast a day before or the day after of recording with Veggie, if that happens, with everything goes smooth and we can record commander content for all of you with Veggie. And as well, you can find me at reelinfilms.com. I am a movie critic like Orengo, but I do more in regards to talking about news as well. I do have my own little podcast that it's still in the works. I do a lot of interviews as well, with different directors, actors, or producers. My most recent interviews are with the actress that plays Cinder in the hit movie from Pixar, Elemental. As well, I did interview Mario Ruiz. He's the presenter of a show that's going to come up in Roku, Batallas at Abuela's Kitchen. Interviewed an actress and the director of August by 22, and as well, the producer and director of Here Is Better. There are more interviews to come, and I think that one of them is going to be very, very interesting because tomorrow I will be interviewing um, Andreas Dija, the animator that brought us Jafar Gaston, because he is going to start a festival run on a short film. So I think I cannot give that much details about it, but when I can, you can see it at reelinfilms.com. So I do hope that everybody enjoyed tonight's show. We are coming back, so don't miss out. Remember one more thing, alterseeds.com/cardboard cave. Use our affiliated link or our code to get 5% off your order. As well, if you have those nice, shiny tournament edition cards with the altar sleeves, they are not tournament edition no more. So your good monolith can actually look legit. So let me go ahead and say our goodbyes once again and see you guys in the next one.
Welcome to the Cardboard Cave Podcast, the #1 show in Puerto Rico about trading card games. Thanks for Alter Sleeves for sponsoring our show. Use our affiliate link or code Cardboard Cave for 5% off your order and spice up your commander. Don't forget to follow us on our social media or listen to us in all major audio platforms. Thanks for being part of our community, and please like, share, and comment below. Plus enjoy the live show.